I'm at Soldiers Point Summit, or Soldiers Summit, or whatever this is called, here in the Yukon, and this is where I'm gonna go for my run today. On the way up to Alaska, I wanted to stop here, but I was afraid I might get stuck. Then this time, it looked good enough to pull into this lot. Very little snow, but it's deceptive, and I almost got stuck this time. So thankfully that didn't happen. I got myself positioned for a smooth exit, and I'm gonna go ahead and go for a little run up to Soldier Summit. It's 25 degrees. Let's try to share some of this info at the beginning of each run if you find it interesting. It is 25 degrees here, Fahrenheit, obviously not Celsius. And this is I'm wearing my tennis shoes, kind of casual pants and sweatshirt. I anticipate getting pretty warm on the run. And this is day 6 of getting back into running, trying to give myself time and space every day to take a run, because there's really no excuse not to. It could be 4 minutes. Everyone has 4 minutes. And actually it helps sometimes clear your mind. And the 4 minutes spent clearing your mind could save you hours. In the long run. So I went for a run yesterday. My legs are sore. All uphill here. And I'm gonna go ahead and walk a little bit. My mindset is that I don't see that as a problem. I think that if I give myself enough space and time to run over a long enough period of time, I will get better and better at it. And I'm going to let my, body and mind work together to determine the pacing of that process and that progress. And there's something to be said for pushing through the challenge, but you don't have to every time. I have the mindset that I didn't have to get out and run at all. That was a choice I made, and it was a good choice. And I am content with having made that choice, even if I walk a little bit. So today, as with most of these runs, not gonna be a super long one. think my body is a little bit worn down from this rather exhausting going on 3-week trip, I think. Haven't really kept track, but I could figure it out. To Alaska and back, doing a couple of delivery jobs and a lot of custom work on the trailer to get those done. A lot of working out in the elements, out in the extreme cold. Being on the road is kind of tough on you. You don't get real rest, you know. You just don't get that real deep rest that you gotta, you know, settle into a place for. But it's fun. It's an adventure. It's a lot of things that, you know, I always wanted in life. And when those things that you want in life happen, you don't complain about it, you know. When you realize that it's a little harder than you thought, or that it's kind of exhausting or whatever, you remind yourself, this is something I wanted. These are things that I wanted. You remind yourself of what that experience contains that you can be grateful for. You live it, you experience it, you know it has an end date. So while you're in it, and you dig into it so that you can experience it to the greatest extent possible. And then when it's done, if you don't want to do it again, you don't do it again. But you got the memory. And you don't want that memory to just be a memory of you complaining through the whole thing. So yes, this trip has been tiring. It's been long. Been a lot of unexpected challenges along the way. But you know, when you're a kid and you're reading stories of adventures and thinking, I want to go on some of those stories contain a lot of unexpected challenges along the way, and that's part of the adventure. So, you know, if you want that, then you gotta embrace the whole thing. So that's what I've been doing for the most part. That's part of why the running is in here as part of what I'm doing. I'm officially at Soldier's Point or Soldier's Summit. I don't know why I can't remember which one it is, or maybe it's both. Soldier's Point Summit. Could go a little further just for funsies. And to see what's up the path. I think last time I came here was in the summer, so there was no defined path, so I went up there. It wasn't really summer, but there wasn't snow on the ground. So it wasn't clear which direction people go from that point. So I just picked a direction. But this time, there's a clear trail. I'm kind of curious enough to go a little further. My lower back is sore, but that is a consequence of sitting a lot, and the running is just bringing it to light. It's not causing it. I probably need to stretch, but it felt a little cold to stretch when I first got out of the truck. Now that I'm warming up, I'll probably stretch. Ah, yes. I believe that this is part of the original Alaska Highway, and for some reason it was later moved down there. That spot looks a lot easier to build on. So I believe, if I remember right, the last time I looked on a map of the original highway, that there's an abandoned bridge way off in that direction. And if you followed this road far enough, it would take you to that bridge. So I'm gonna state it as a goal and an intention right now that the next time I come by this point, I'm gonna run and or hike all the way into that bridge. I think I'd like to plan the next trip to this point for summer. As always, I want to say, maybe in every video, because who knows which one you watch, the purpose of this channel is at least twofold. One, I want to monetize the YouTube channel. Let's not beat around the bush about that. Two, I want to inspire you to do whatever it is that you want to do, that you find valuable and important enough to do, that you think would make you a better person, or simply someone who likes yourself better. And I want to share the message that you don't have to start big. You don't need to carve out an hour of your day for anything. If you can and you want to, more power to you. But you don't have to. And if that is a mental block to you, then stop worrying about it. It's just getting in your way. Start with 5 minutes. That's how scrolling Facebook starts. That's how scrolling YouTube, that's how playing a video game starts. It starts with, I've only got a couple minutes. Next thing you know, you're an hour in and you're like, oh, I guess I had an hour. Well, don't let this idea that you got to carve out an hour of time every day to start whatever it is that you really truly believe you want to do. Just start with 5 minutes. Start with a couple minutes. Distract yourself with something positive. We distract ourselves all the time with negative things. because we're putting off the positive thing that feels really daunting, because we think we got to give ourselves an hour. We think we got to be really intentional about it. So because that feels intimidating, we choose something that we don't have to be intentional about, something that's immediately accessible, something that's not ultimately rewarding, but it's right here, it's right now, it's really easy, because we're afraid of the big thing. So just flip the narrative and let yourself be distracted by something that you believe in. Tell yourself, I'm only going to run for 3 minutes. I swear, no more than 3 minutes. I'm going to stop running as soon as I hit 3 minutes, or 2 minutes, or 1 minute. Just like you tell yourself, I'm only going to get on Facebook for 2 minutes, then I'm going to hop right off. And then instead of being like, oh darn, I stayed on Facebook for an hour, be like, oh darn, I tried to run for only 2 minutes, but I got into it and I ended up running for 10 minutes. So let yourself choose a distraction that is important to you. Let yourself get distracted by doing something nice for your significant other, right? If you're in a relationship. If you don't want advice, by the way, just, flip to a different... Sorry, I'm telling you what to do. If you don't want advice, you've probably already flipped to a different channel. If you got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, a partner, and you've gotten to that point in the relationship where you feel like it's kind of a burden, it's kind of daunting, it's kind of intimidating. They expect you to spend so much time meeting their needs and you're busy and it's just too much. Let yourself get distracted by some little thing. I'm only going to spend 2 minutes making this card for her. Just going to spend 2 minutes on it. Got a bunch of stuff to do, but you know what? Work is just kind of overwhelming right now. I'm just going to spend 2 minutes making this card. And then 15 minutes later, when you've actually put some time and intention into it, you're like, oh darn, I accidentally spent 15 minutes doing something sweet for my girlfriend or my wife or my husband or boyfriend. Right? I just think that sometimes we self-sabotage the things that are important to us because they're so important to us that we feel like it's not worth approaching that thing at all unless we've set aside so much time, so much energy, and we're going to be so intentional about it and do it exactly right. Now, not to knock anybody who plays video games. I know that a lot of people have made that part of their life routine that brings value and meaning to their lives. It's a social thing. It's a way to connect with friends. I don't play video games. If you do, and I actually have had times where I have gotten sucked into my favorite iPhone game of all time back in the day before iPhones existed, and I played it on my iPod Touch, and that was hill climb racing. So much fun. You get sucked into it, and this is not a whether hill climb racing is good or bad. The thing that I'm observing about it, and I wanted to clarify that because I know that, the term video games is a hot button term for a lot of people, whether it's good or bad. Either you're going to jump to defending it or you're going to jump to kind of tearing it down. My point is neither of those things. My point is that I did not need to be good at hill climb racing. to start hill climb racing. And I got real good at hill climb racing because I wasn't worried about whether I was going to be good at it or not. It was just fun. I just did it because it was fun. But when we feel that something's really, really important, we don't let ourselves just do it because it's fun. We build it up in our heads into this big thing that you can't do at all unless you're going to be really good at it. And unless you're going to do it the right way, whatever that is. And the reality is that you only prevent yourself from getting good at it because of that fear that you somehow have to be good before you even start. So this is kind of the message that I want to share through this channel, through these videos, because I don't want to be just another channel that tries to suck you in and get you to watch more of my videos so that I can make money doing things that I like to do. I want that for you too. You know, whoever you are, wherever you are, and whatever it is that you want to do, I want that for you. So I want you to get this message out of the video. If it's something you need, whatever it is you want to do, go start it now. Let me see if these guys need a picture. Hi there. Do you guys want me to take a picture for you? Okay. Enjoy your hike. Thanks. Learning technique here. I feel like I'm pretty good on downhills. I think if I ever do a mountain race, which is definitely a goal of mine, I'm gonna crush it on the downhills. I see a lot of people throwing their legs out in front of them, kind of locking their legs out ahead of them, trying to slow themselves down. Why do you want to slow yourself down? This is the opportunity to go fast. So I'm not really afraid to land with my feet underneath me and just push forward, just embrace it, go fast. Maximize that speed downhill. So anyways, if you want to check out my other channel, Send It Delivery Co. That's where I document all that fun stuff. Thank you for watching my video, and catch you next time.